Welcome to the most intellectual podcast you'll hear all week if you don't listen to any other podcasts. Welcome to the 421. Thank you for joining us today.
That was a good one.
It's
I like that one.
here with Dice, just like every other podcast. You know, I had a thought the other day, and I was like, we have not yet had a guest star on the podcast.
You're
we,
a lie.
We had Jack,
Oh, okay, never mind.
but he's a part. I'm not considering the Salty Boys as anything special here
Do you think
to put them down and shit on them.
we would actually have to think of like a full? We'd have to go full pick topics and stick on them, kind of.
Yeah, it
Like-
kind of suck.
It would definitely not be as free-handed as the podcasts usually are, which in a lot of ways would help us, and in a lot of ways would take away some of that charm that I like to believe we give the podcast.
Yeah, it's weird. Like you can select what category you want to categorize the video on YouTube, and so every week when I upload it, I'm like, what did we talk about the most this week, and which category does that fit in most?
I like
It's also weird how it will automatically it'll immediately sort any video we upload to gaming. Every single video, unless we classify it otherwise as gaming.
because the algorithm's probably learning.
Yeah, it knows.
Yeah, no, it's.
The algorithm knows all.
I lost my train of thought of what we were talking about because now I'm thinking about a song.
Is it holes?
Yeah.
We could take another weekend at Salty's and do the YouTube version of Holes.
Oh my god. I feel like we've already talked about holes on the, maybe not on the podcast. Maybe that was a Let's Play.
We have talked about Holes before. We've talked about a lot of stuff, and
We have.
we're only like 30 some episodes deep.
And just the podcast. I was gonna say, yeah, just the podcast. We have like over 200 videos on our fucking page.
I was gonna say we have not done. Can you imagine what the 200th podcast will be like?
Hopefully, a lot better than this. Not saying that we're bad. Just like I would like to, have
be
a little
fair,
bit more
that's-
production value, better space.
That's 170 episodes, so that's a little over 3 years from now.
Mhm.
We'll both be 30. No,
And now I hate
because
myself.
I'm only
Thanks.
26.
Oh, now I hate myself even more. Thanks, bruh.
Did I tell you about the conversation I had with my wife the other day? To fi-
You usually do.
It was her birth. Damn it! It was. It was her birthday, and I woke up that morning. She woke up for work earlier than I did, but I was getting around. And she came downstairs, and I was like, "Oh, by the way, happy birthday." And she's like, "Oh, thank you." And I was like, "Happy 28th birthday." And she's like, "It's my 27th birthday." And I'm like, "No, because you're 1 year older than me, and I'm 27." And she said, "No, I am 1 year older than you, but I am 27." I'm like, "No, that would mean I'm 26."
Dude, the same thing happened with me. There's a podcast where I even said there was an episode where I called myself 28, and I'm only 20. I'm turning 28 this year, but I'm only 27.
I was fully convinced that I was 27 for God knows how long at this point.
Same. I kept saying I was 28.
Probably since I turned 26.
It just all they weren't lying. It just all meshes now. It's crazy. I just don't even care anymore.
I guess that's one way of looking at it.
I just don't care. I am now engaged. I have found somebody to be with, so I don't have to worry about that aspect of knowing ages and shit like that.
Mhm.
So the people who need to know my birthday do know my birthday. So fuck it. I don't care anymore.
Nah, I hate my birthday.
I hate
But
it too.
it is to
I
stay
absolutely hate it.
to stay more on topic than we usually do. People, you always hear when you're younger, like time flies as you get older,
Mhm.
and it's really weird to be seeing like that not only happen in my life, but now with the pandemic that like washed over. I lost like months of my life, and it's weird looking at it like we're in August now.
Now, see,
The last event I remember was in March. Everything else is just a big blur of time.
it's just been dragging for me. Like, I can still.
Really?
Yeah, it's just been the pandemic has been dragging.
Oh yeah, I mean absolutely.
Well, yeah, but
I mean I was just talking about in general.
like I know we're in. It feels like August. It didn't feel like I keep seeing the meme like March feels like it lasted forever. It didn't for me. I watched as those fucking days ticked by. But we did like at the beginning of the pandemic, the very beginning for 2 weeks, I slacked off like nothing. Then we had that big spurt of fucking like we're going to get inside and healthy, and we did all that shit good. And then that kind of fell to the wayside after the 30-day trial.
Yeah.
I've kept the weight off, so I can still fit my medium shirts, and I'm really happy about that. But I fucking fell to the wayside again, and I'm just like the days are strutting along, and now I work during it.
Mm.
So now it's even worse. It's like I have nothing to do and nothing to look forward to on my days off, and now I have to go back to work, and I have nothing to look forward to. Because like date nights are really cool, but like you have to fight tooth and nail for any kind of reservation to get anywhere, and plus we still want to be safe about it.
Mm.
None of the fun stuff we like to do is open because I couldn't imagine being in like Dave and Buster's or something like that for
Mm-mm.
hours on end.
No,
Like
absolutely
I'd
not.
go nuts. And it's really just dragging for me. And then I hate the winter, and I am just missing all my
Oh
favorite.
no, I love the fall. The fall is my favorite.
I know it is. I know
And
it
it sucks
is.
because everybody was saying the second wave was gonna come through like in the fall. It's already hit the United States, so like it's not gonna get any better.
Say we're not even done with the first wave. We're just gonna add to it.
Everybody's like, "Oh no, my summer is gone," and I'm like, "No, this is worse. It's affecting autumn. Autumn is way better than summer."
Oh no, you don't get to go embarrass yourself at a light show again.
Shut up. Yo, okay. Weird coincidence. There's an area of your Facebook page where like people can tag you in photos, and you can like select like, yes, this is me.
Yes.
I apparently I have not checked this section of my Facebook for a very long time, but I believe one of my in-laws posted a picture of Amanda for her birthday, saying like birthday wishes, blah blah blah, and that picture was like it had me tagged in it. It wasn't the picture that you think it is.
Okay.
However, comma.
Okay.
So they tagged me in that one, and it took me to that area of my Facebook page, and I was like, oh wow, there are pics here from like months ago, and I scrolled, and lo and behold, there is a photo of myself and my wife in a Christmas lit carriage standing high above the masses. You cannot see the crowd of people because they're all
Oh.
like behind them.
I wanted the photo to make you realize.
But I'll go ahead and throw that picture up for you guys just to see the wonderful. It's right before we realized what was happening, because she is bright-eyed and she just like looks so excited to be up there. And to be honest, I look not sober.
Are you finding it for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, so this is the whole picture.
Yeah, you don't look sober.
Nope. Nope. I was like,
You look very much like my wife is making me take this picture. She looks happy as could be.
yeah, that was the moment right before it happened.
I wanted like one person in the background just like leering
Like flipping
at
me
you
off.
or something. I wanted it so bad.
And I'd completely like obscured this memory from my mind, and this picture just brought it all back. And I was like,
Dicks out for
"Fuck.
depression, bro.
Dicks out.
F
Get
in
that
chat.
trending on Twitter, people.
F in chat.
Dicks out for depression. Ooh,
Holy shit. That was probably the funniest story you've ever told me.
it
That
hurt.
was, like,
it hurt
misfortune
real
to you.
bad.
Like we have shared depressing shit amongst each other, but God, I would have broke down. I don't know. I said something completely different last time, but I don't know what the fuck.
I did.
Man.
I blue screened. You said you would have ran or tried to own it.
No, I probably would have ran.
I don't know which is better.
Run. Sorry, guys. She made me. I'm drunk.
I'm drunk.
I went full stupid. Where'd
No,
she go?
I couldn't do that. No, that's not me.
Where'd she run off to?
Me is run and hide and cover my face some. I would be an ostrich. I
No,
would shove my head.
I
in the
said I
sand.
would have left. I would have left them there. I'd have got in the fucking car and left.
Oh yeah.
Whether you were coming with me or not, I'm leaving.
You would have pieced.
Because I
the
wouldn't have fucking
hell
stayed in that
out.
area. Because people would have remembered me. No. If you want to know what story we're talking about, go back to this episode of the podcast.
Good call.
And
Do you want to take a guess?
I'm gonna guess 13.
I'm guessing 9.
Okay.
How about that new Hollywood Undead song with Tech 9?
Okay.
How about that new Hollywood Undead / Tech 9 joint? I have so many questions.
I have a lot. I have a lot.
So we have both listened to it, and we share the exact same opinion of it. But I for context, I wanted to scroll through the Facebook, the YouTube comments, and see what other people are saying. And everybody's like, "Oh wow, I listened to Hollywood Undead a long time ago, but it's weird how Tech 9 like always guests on a track, and it brings the best out of the other rappers." And everyone's like going on and on about how good it is, and I'm like, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I can't hear it.
It killed me. I was like, Tech probably has the best verse in the song, but I can't hear what the fuck he says.
Tech's flow is outrageous. I know that because I can hear the syllables and
Mm-hmm.
the mush mouth that he's creating, but like, did they forget to get the song mastered? Like, did they record it in quarantine and then they just like couldn't get a producer to finish it, or a mixing artist or a masterer or whatever the hell they're called? Sorry, audio engineering community.
Because Johnny 3 sounded like he was about to go in when his verse came in. I was super excited.
Yeah.
And I had him on axe throwing speakers, like the clearest, loudest you could hear it. And it was nothing but, it reminded me of my problem with RTJ4. It was a couple of songs that I couldn't hear what you're saying over anything. But this was really apparent. This was really fucking apparent. I'm like, man, this is some heavy drum filler, man. This is going to sound really good. I can't wait till they start the song. And I think it's, I don't think Charlie starts it. I think it's,
I can't remember how it starts, but I remember hearing that everybody sounded like they were underwater. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this is like how the verse sounds to like really draw the listener in, and then something's gonna punch in and the lyrics are gonna like come through and really smack you in the face. And then it never stopped.
no.
And then the hook kicked in, and I'm like, this is just how the song sounds, I guess. And then Tech Nine's verse came in, and I'm like, okay, maybe Tech recorded his verse later, and now his is gonna sound really good. But it had the exact same sound effect. And I'm like, why? Why? What's wrong with you?
But like it had good producing because at the end it syncs perfectly.
Yeah,
the end is great.
The very last hook they do, like it sounds like it's supposed to sound for the rest of the song. And I'm like, why?
Why didn't you give me that? Like all of it. I want that. I just want to hear what you're saying. The beat is really good. It's good, but I can't understand it. I was like, it sounds like they're spitting fire, and I can't see the flame. I can't see it.
To my knowledge, neither of them has acknowledged that it sounds broken. So I assume
Well,
it
apparently
is
a
as
lot of
it's
people
supposed to
don't think
be.
it is.
Right, and like I saw a post by Tech that was like, hey, new song with Hollywood Undead. It was super dope, yada yada yada. And they didn't say anything about the vocals, and none of the comments say anything about the vocals. And I'm like, am I wrong in this? Comments, are we wrong in this?
Really, are we? Because I mean, but
Did we
again, that
miss-
was my problem with RTJ4 was a couple of songs, or I guess the way that I'm losing his name right now. Not Killer Mike, but
LP.
LP. The way LP produces, I was like, okay, well, I may just not agree with that style of producing, and then lo and behold, this song came out. So maybe it's that again. Maybe I'm
But
just.
this is more like fair that the beat was great.
The beat was
slapped.
great. Everything
The beat
about it
was
was great. I
not.
just
The
couldn't
beat
hear
was
it.
not good enough to overtake the lyrics at any point. Like the beat should have not been the point of that song. The beat set up the lyrics to hit me, and then it never did.
It's Hollywood Undead and Tech. It's two groups that say really fucking good shit and have great rhymes. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I just like, is it selfish? Like that's it. Like it was Tech and Hollywood Undead. I had waited for this collab that I didn't know I wanted, and then all of a sudden I'm not allowed to hear it. I don't know. It's selfish, I guess. Fuck it.
Is it selfish? It's just we just disagree with it. It just doesn't sound good.
Is there like?
That's my opinion. It doesn't sound good.
Is there a clean version? Like another, not like a not like a censored version, but is there like a clean version that I can hear? Can I hear the first sample? Can somebody rip it and then manipulate it and then send me the thing? I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, you probably could, but it's still gonna. So one of the greatest lessons that I ever learned was from my my recording teacher. Well, I guess my music production teacher.
Music production.
We'll call him Davis because that was his last name. And we were
Leave
working
out
on,
the Mister.
we were working on projects for like we had to come up with one big end of the year project and we had to have 4 different things in it. And we all listened through like first takes and we all gave comments on other people's shit. And he went up to the front of the class and he's like, "Okay, now it is very important to remember these may sound good, and you're going to go through and mix and master and do all this random shit to it, but you can only polish a turd so much. If your source files aren't good, don't mix them. Re-record them now because you're going to end up with like 1 week to record and mix this final project. If something's good, keep it. But if it's a turd, flush it." So I always have it in the back of my head when I'm working on something. You can only polish a turd so much.
Oh god, that sounds like an old movie adage.
Yeah, like something people would say from the 50s.
Like the 80s. Like they really campy teen movies.
I don't know. Turd has never been really a popular word.
But like that would be like the edgy word of the 80s. That wasn't the bad words of fuck and
I guess.
shit.
The only person I can really think of that says the word turd is my mom. Is my mothered.
I mean, it's definitely always the older generation that says it the most, because a lot of the younger generation doesn't give a damn anymore and says shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I feel like shit is not even word for another. I mean, discussion for another day. But honestly, I feel like they're like every word
The
but
semantics of swearing.
every word but fuck, and even fuck is starting to borderline on a lot of people's language. But every word but fuck is no longer a curse word. It's
Well, the C word is still very much a curse
I'm
word.
not
People-
okay. Well, okay. So
people don't like that
let me
word.
put it this way. So from fuck and beyond,
Ah, okay.
and C is definitely beyond fuck.
To fuckery and beyond.
But everything be like I actually like I don't know how I had a ranking, but I had like the ranking system of what cuss words were,
Oh, absolutely.
like how bad they were because of how much they appeared on local television.
Are we gonna do a cuss words tier list?
Oh, we could. Oh, we could.
Double S tier. Cunt.
Everybody will be so mad because you will make me put cunt in double S. Everybody will be
Absolutely.
mad.
I mean, it can't go anywhere else. It's the best word.
Oh God, I'm crying. It's
Aw, don't cry, man.
so funny.
I mean, it's a good word, but it's not worth crying. You don't cry over the cunt.
Okay.
If you've made it this far.
If you made it this far, you got a hell of an ear. Because this is when
And-
the good shit kicks in right now. Ready for it? I was talking about earlier the new Daddy Fat Snaps rap had Zuko from Avatar.
Ooh.
And it features an artist. I want to find his name because
Is it the voice of Zuko?
No.
Oh, that's a shame. He does. He still does a lot of shit.
But the dude writes. I don't know if he wrote the hook, but he performed the hook, and the hook is fucking solid. I may not be the biggest fan of Avatar, but I did like Zuko. I also liked Uncle.
Uncle Iroh.
Yeah, of course.
Dude, Uncle Iroh's the best.
What was that? Zuko rap featuring Chewy Cat and Zach
De La Roca?
Boucher. That would be sweet.
Hey, Zach, could you... Oh, who would Zach De La Roca play in Avatar? You don't know shit about Avatar.
I know. I was forced to watch it all. I know shit about Avatar. I just hate Avatar.
Honest to God,
Controversial.
if you gender bent Toph, Zach De La Roca would be an excellent Toph.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that would be. Is there anybody like really anti-establishment? In
Toph.
Okay.
I mean, Toph seems like the most apt one. I'm trying to think. He could be Jet. Because they're, all in the woods, anti-establishment, survival of the fittest bullshit.
I could see that.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
I know. I know that's very controversial, but no, not a big fan. Oh, I wanted to talk about it. Shout out to Dark Main, way popular YouTuber. How was that fucking level building video with the Full Metal Alchemist joke? Oh, it was so funny.
Is that an old video?
It was like a year ago,
Okay.
something like that. Whenever Stage Builder got
Giving another
introduced.
YouTuber a shout out for a video they made a year ago.
I don't give a fuck. It was funny as shit. And if you don't know who Dark Main is, go watch one video. You'll be hooked.
Is that your YouTube recommendation
Yeah,
for the
it's
week?
Dice's recommendation of the week. Fucking Dark Main is hilarious. Everybody else that hangs out with him too, like Magikarp Use Fly and shit is good, but Dark Main is hilarious. Oh, he's so fucking funny. I loved it. I was talking to Shy Shy at work.
Okay.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
So she I guess has recently got into anime and stuff like that, and she told me one of the main ones she watched that she loved was Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I was like, oh, That's good. I was trying because like this was the first. I realized this was the first like real conversation. This is the first real time like me and her worked together that we didn't have another person there.
People are talking about anime. They're vulnerable.
Well, yeah, and it was it. She was like, "I'm new to anime." She's like, "I'm new to anime," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And we started talking about it. And it's the first real conversation me and her have had because this first shift we had to work together alone. And she talked to me a lot about the podcast, and it's how we got onto this anime podcast. So she was like, "Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist was one of my favorites," and blah blah blah. And I went, "Oh, that's nice," and stuff like that. She was like, "Did you watch it?" I went, "Yeah," and she went, "What did you think?" And I went, "Do you know the really sad part that everybody like cried during?" And she went, "Do you mean the Chimera?" And I went, "I laughed really hard when they revealed it because I don't like the show." And she just kind of stared at me for a second. I was like, "I'm sorry." You should watch JoJo.
Oh my god.
I think she said she's watching One Piece, so I didn't even have to recommend that. Like once somebody started that, it's pretty
One Piece
committal.
is a good entry level anime.
No, it's not.
It's
900 episodes.
I'm saying it starts very like not easy to relate to, but it's easy to watch.
Oh yes, okay.
Because it's very Americanized, and then it switches after a while, and it gets into the more serious shit, and then you're like, oh, these animes get dark.
I said it in one of the Let's Plays today, but I'm on I'm on Long Run Long Island, and I don't mind the arc. It's not bad, but I've looked up a lot of people online completely hate this arc, and I could see it. I apparently spoilers for this arc. Everybody has lost their memory right now, and I just don't care. I just don't care. It's such a filler arc.
Nobody likes amnesia.
I'm like, oh man, Sanji doesn't know he's a cook, except he's a cook. I mean, he doesn't know he's the cook of this ship, but he knows he's a cook, so he's cooking for him. Well, that's really nice. I guess there was no conflict at all. They're just still friends. That's good. Power of friendship. Sometimes, like, they do the power of friendship so fucking right. I have never cried over somebody ringing a bell before. I never did that until I watched One Piece.
Okay, I feel like the ringing of the bell didn't do it. It was the significance of it.
Exactly. But it was the significance of fucking friendship.
Okay. I could say, I could have never said before that I cried over somebody spinning turntables.
Yeah. Until you were influenced by one.
But you could say that
moment.
about most situations in which you cry. There's a specific set of it's semantics. Please go on. Please continue. I don't want to sully.
Semantics is full circle from when we started this podcast.
I don't want to sully your crying with.
What happened last week? You said you loved my emotional shit.
I did. I do. I love you.
I do my doot.
I do my doot.
Anyway.
We need to.
Yes, I'm on a shitty arc, and we had a fun talk about anime. I guess I'm not allowed to talk about things.
You know who else was on a shitty arc? Noah. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on the 421. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell. Hit the bell and cry so that you know when we come out with content. I love you. I'm sorry. That was perfect. What should they leave in the comments today? I know we already told them to leave something in the comments.
Without spoiling One Piece for me, tell Jayne why One Piece is an emotional fucking masterpiece. Bitch.
That's very
specific, yeah.
Yeah, that's very niche.
Our fan
Not
base
being
are
very
intellectual.
entry-level friendly.
Our fan base are intellectuals, and thus we'll do
Goodbye,
it.
guys.